Hi all. Today we are going to see a question from GATE 2020 paper 1 of mechanical and question number 5. So you are being given a truss structure like this, and you are being asked like which are the members carrying zero force, that is zero force members in the truss for any load P greater than 0. So your load P is greater than 0. So you have four options and you have to identify which of these elements of this truss is have carrying zero force. So before going into the details, you can check out about the more detailed problems on this topic in NPTEL lecture Engineering Mechanics by Professor Manoj from IIT Kanpur. So let's go ahead. So little bit useful data for this particular problem is like if you are given three members like this which is meeting at a point B, in this case point B. So assuming that there is no force, external force or any support reaction at this particular joint, and if any of those two members are collinear, like here AB and BC are in the same line, so the third member, no matter whatever be its orientation, the third member will always carry force 0. That will be your zero force member. Okay, so let's go into the problem, how to solve it using this particular principle. So let's see the structure. So we have so many points here to look into. So let's go about it. Let's think about each joint properly. So let me focus on point D and B. Okay. So if you see at point B, you can see this is your structure. This is your point B. Now here you don't have any force. Okay. And your your AB and BC are collinear. That means this particular element, that is BF, has to be zero force member according to the principle I have shown. So similarly, if you go at junction D, you have H, C, and you have E. Okay, so here you have support reaction. Yeah, but that is irrelevant because we are focused on is there a force at this point or not. That is the principle related, so it's not there. So that means again you're going to get your D force at DH is equal to 0. So basically your this element and this element PF DH, that has 0 force. Okay, so now let's check out other thing. For example, if you look at CG, so CG is having some, even though it is having similar aspects like other these two joints, but your CG, it has a force like this. So this at C, yeah. So at this point C, we cannot consider since you are having a non-zero force here, we cannot consider this. But let's look at your junction G. So if I look at let me draw here. If I look at that particular junction, let's say, yeah, okay, so my force is going to be at this, but my junction is this. So about this joint I have collinear collinear elements here. That means this I can again take it to be 0. So again what you're getting is your force in CG is 0. This, so now we got these three elements to be carrying non-zero force. So now let's go ahead with the rest of the points. So let me take a new figure. Yeah. So now consider point A. So when you consider point A, the junction A, so let me just draw this. Yes. Okay, so this is your F, this is your B. Now you will have some reaction forces here because of this particular support, right? So that means now you can say that you will have some force in this particular zone, right? Because when you resolve these vectors, this support members will take these force. Therefore, you cannot have a zero force member at this point, at this joint or anywhere else in this element. So now we have addressed these joints, right? Now let's go into this in the let's go ahead with the next one. Yes. So if you draw at E, what is going to happen? So here you have H, here you have D. So now you're going to have some reaction force here, right? So you're going to have a reaction force here R. So now you can see that your force EH is actually going to support directly this reaction force. So that means, let's say it is in opposite direction, so it is like this. So now since this element is cancelling the effects of this support reaction, that means there is no need of a third member here because there is not going to be any force to balance out. So that means the force in your DE is also 0. So now when you finally conclude, you have this member, you have this, this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, all these 4 members are going to have 0 forces. So if you now look at point D, so what happens is you have like this, right? So your forces are going to be equal, that is FCD is equal to FDE. That means from here we found FD is 0, that means FCD is also going to be a 0 force member. So finally your answer is going to be CD, DE, then BF, CG, DH. Yeah, so all these are going to be your 0 force member in this particular case. So I hope you understood this problem. You can check out the NPTEL lecture for more detailed and complicated problems. So thank you.